It's interesting why people go on vacation. They go on vacation, and usually it takes several days for people to quiet down and unwind. And then we start just experiencing life more directly. Our senses start coming alive. And if there's anything I think I've learned from the principles is that it helps you see that vacation is within you and it's always available. I'll start with the simplest thing I've learned from Sydney Banks, because he was all about simplicity. He kept urging us to look for simplicity, because if you think about the principles, they'll get complicated. Just like when you're on vacation, if you're thinking about your life, you won't be on vacation. It'll get complicated. So the simplest message that I heard from Sid Banks was, every single time he talked, he'd basically say, look within. We go, Sid, what does that mean? He says, well, not in your body. He says, I just mean beyond your thinking, because that's content, beyond your thoughts and feelings, and into this space inside of us. And he says, when you let go of everything you're thinking, you'll begin to sense a silence, a quiet. So he'd say, quiet your mind, look within, quiet your mind. Allow your thinking to just relax, like we do on vacation. We go on vacation, and before you know it, we stop thinking about so much and we become more and more present. So he said, if you really see how thought works, you'll see that most of the thinking you do creates some degree of tension, stress, or upset. Most of our thinking prevents us from enjoying the moment, because you can't think and be in your senses at the same time. If you go for a walk in the woods and you're thinking, you won't see the beauty all around you. Isn't that interesting? You said, if you really see thought, it'll bring you to the present moment. It's only in the present moment we begin to be nourished by our soul. What does that mean, being nourished by our soul? Well, our senses start coming alive. But, oh, look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh, this food tastes so good. It was fun to have a meal with Sid Banks. Everything he ate and drank was the best ever. This is the best cup of tea I've ever had. And he meant it in that moment. He was so in the moment with that tea. There was nothing else but the smell, the taste, the feel. It was unfiltered by any thinking. So he called that, when we become unfiltered, he called that pure thought. So his message is, look within, behind, beneath, beyond form, the content of our thinking, there's just quiet presence. It's just a feeling of being present in life. It doesn't matter what mood you're in. Doesn't matter what you were feeling. When we release and surrender our thinking. Spirit. Spirit translated means breath. So we breathe again. When we're uptight, thinking, that's ego. Because we're closed off to our senses. We're closed off to deeper feelings of well-being. We're closed off to a knowing that guides us gracefully and easily through life. So if I put it all together, here's the simplicity that I keep coming back to no matter what happens in my life. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Look within. Beyond our thinking is a quiet presence. Relax into that presence. And you'll sense just the feeling of presence. It's a beautiful feeling. He says there's no word for it because you're not in your thinking. You don't have to label it. It's just, it's the feeling of, We've vacated our thinking, vacation. We dropped into a place of recreation, recreation. It's ordinary. He says it's the most ordinary thing in the world. It happens for people, but they don't know that we're dropping into our true self. Look within. There's quiet always in that space, and a feeling always in that space, and they go together. One of my favorite quotes from Sid is, the state of no thought, which just means when we're not paying attention to our thinking, even if you have a lot of it, the state of no thought and the feeling of love are coupled together like lovers. Look within. Beyond your thinking is a quiet presence, pure consciousness, awareness free of the filtration, free of the contamination of our conceptual mind. Oh, this is hard. I don't like this. What's happening? Oh, I got to figure this out. When it's free of all of that, free of judgments, free of shoulds, free of expectations, free of labels, free of concepts, free of beliefs, we're present. Pure consciousness, awareness, free of filtration. We're seeing life as it is now, unfiltered. We're on vacation. No matter where we are, we can be on vacation. Even in a war zone, even during a family crisis, even while our kids are arguing, we're thought away from the space where we disengage from our intellect. Always, everybody. Our friend Bill Pettit says that our the feeling of presence, the feelings of well-being are always accessible to everybody in every circumstance. Without understanding this, you go on vacation and you think it's the place, and then you come home and you go, okay, back to the real world. Stress, worry, impatience, rushing around, problems, issues. So what did Sid recommend? Well, if you have a problem, look within. There's a space. Always there's quiet and a feeling. And in that feeling, there's a knowing. That's how wisdom always shows up in that deeper feeling. Well, what does that mean? When we're present and in the feeling of presence, without thinking about it, we'll do well. We'll know when to stand up, when to sit down, when to say something, when not to say something. Words will come to mind fresh, new and fresh show up. Takes care of everything, every problem. So he said, this is the solution to every single problem. No exception. No exception. Every single problem, where we will find the answer is in the quiet feeling, knowing that's within, that's always available. And it will show up as just knowing what to do, or as what some people call common sense. Oh, I guess I could do this, or this feels right. Common sense from this deep common ground to all of us, this universal spiritual ground of energy. Thoughts occur to us that make sense, help us make sense of any situation, any situation. One problem, we look for answers in our personal thinking, in our ego, in form. One solution, touch the formless, and there's quiet and a feeling and a knowing. 3 principles: quiet, pure thought; feeling, pure consciousness; a knowing, pure mind. Wisdom is a formless intelligence that when we touch that space, it takes form as knowing. It informs us on how to live. It's where we find our answers to how to respond to problems. Any problems. I couldn't take Sid's word for this, and I don't want you to take Sid's word for it, or my word for it, or Natasha's word, or Bill's word. Only you can discover within yourself, when you release everything you're thinking, just for a moment. If you get nervous, you can always come back into your little pea brain computer and process already known information. But just for a moment, discover this space with awareness. Be aware of being present. Be aware of resting in the now. It's ordinary. We do it at times without realizing it. Everybody. If I followed any of you around, I could say now. Oh, you're in vacation. You're in vacation mode. Right now, oh, there you are. Oh, look. How can I tell the feeling? Presence. the sparkle in your eyes. That's our natural state. Our natural state is not living within a computer. We're given a computer to use, and we can use it as a tool, so we can use it wisely or unwisely. Sid says, if you want to use your computer wisely, drop into this space within this wisdom space, this love space from your head to your heart. Because wisdom knows how to use your computer wisely. If the computer tries to figure out how to use itself wisely, there'll be no wisdom. You can't think your way. This is a big part of Sid's teaching. You can't think your way to wisdom. No one can. I don't care how smart you are. You can't think your way to new and fresh answers you've never had before. At some point, you have to disengage from your computer. In problem solving, they call it, this is an essential step. Think about a problem for a while, use your computer, go ahead, gather information, Google information. That's really fun to do. That's using your computer wisely. Now you gotta let wisdom bring you new and fresh, because you won't get that from a computer. So they call that in problem solving. Think about a problem, then stop thinking about it altogether and brainstorm. What's brainstorming? You clear your mind and you wait for a flash of insight. A storm. In the dark sky, a flash of light. Aha. Oh, what about this? Oh, maybe we could do this. Oh, how about this idea? Oh, how about that idea? Some people just call that being creative. Well, creativity is our true nature. Any human being I know is quiet starts getting new and fresh. We're living a creative process. We're being lived from the source of creation. For a couple of years, the only thing I was interested in is every time I felt tense, I would do this experiment, let go of everything, immediately, everything, all my thinking, feeling, let it all go. Until I began to experience quiet presence. And be aware of the feeling of presence. That's well-being. And when I felt that, I would go back into whatever situation I was in and just see what occurred to me or what came through me fresh. Unbelievable. Everybody goes up and down. And sometimes in a relationship, both people are down at the same time, and one person or the other opens their mouth and it comes out sort of harsh or negative or critical or judgmental. And if you're both in a low state, it's possible that you'll start having thoughts about the other person, right? And you'll get bothered or frustrated or impatient. That happens. And either you're aware of that or not. If you're aware of that with understanding, that's not a problem. Tension is an invitation to let wisdom weigh in, to go from your head to your heart and let wisdom weigh in. Thank God we feel tension, stress, and upset. It's friendly, it's helpful. Sid called the feelings indicators of our level of well-being. As a parent, when I felt this way, I learned to be grateful that I understood that that just meant I was caught up in my computer. I was caught up in my intellect. I was caught up in my personal thinking. I was caught up in my ego. How am I going to help my kids while I'm caught up in my ego? So it became a friendly invitation to the simplicity that Sid taught about the principles. Wake up to the fact of thought, drop into the now, holding nothing, drop into the now, be open in that presence. It's a quiet and a feeling, and you get more and more sensitive to that quiet because it's always there underneath the noise of our babbling thought system. You have a big decision. My partner wants to move someplace and I don't want to? Oh my God, how are we going to do this? Well, if you try and think your way to it, it'll get more complicated, more confusing, and you get more and more disheartened, upset, and confused. If both of you understand this process, you get quiet and you go, well, maybe we could do this, or maybe we could work it this way, or what about this? And you have these wonderful talks. You don't have to avoid the issue, but you talk from this place. And you share what's coming new and fresh. One person wants to have a child, the other doesn't. You get quiet, the answers, Sid assured us, the answers are always, always found within via a feeling and a knowing. It's where you'll find, that's where the answers lie. There's a source of infinite possibility, infinite creativity. You'll be surprised by what occurs to you. Your ego will say, this will never work. This is impossible. I can't do this. Oh my God, I wish the other person would just do what I want them to do. And you fall out of that and all different things start happening. It's amazing. You're tapping into the intelligence that knows how to create the universe and operate it. The intelligence that knows how to create a human being and operate all of our internal systems. Could you imagine if you were responsible for running your pancreas or your liver, or you're responsible for beating your heart? Isn't it evident we're not living ourselves? Something is living us, some energy, some force. Please don't think of the principles as ideas. They're forces. It's like gravity is a force. Don't reduce it to a word or an idea. It's a force. It's always been there, always is there. The principles are the life energy that's all around us. All around us, everywhere. It's a power. It's the power that creates everything that exists.